Hey everybody, this is Reza.
This is Sandy.
Welcome back to episode 32 of the Stone Cold Sober podcast.
Yup, it's 32. It's been a big week.
Yeah, right. Unexpected,
Yeah,
unexpected weekend. Well, maybe not unexpected, but it was very nice weekend for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my week was kind of boring though, to be honest. I didn't have a whole lot to do at work this week, but things are starting to pick back up, which is awesome. My bosses were out of town.
That's good.
Yeah, so should be good to get back into this new week. Start making some new progress on this project that I have. How about your week?
It was good. It was my birthday week.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Well, not really birthday week. Thank you. Birthday was on Wednesday, so I'm not one of those people that takes a whole week to celebrate. But
so you're saying you're not like Lena? She takes a whole month to celebrate.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
I don't know. You got to ask her sometime.
Well, I mean, I'm asking you. You're the one here.
I give her a day and that's it. But
really?
she likes to take the week or the month. I'm sorry, not the week, the month.
So does she like see a lot of people? Does she go on trips? Like
no.
She feel the whole?
She just likes to claim that it's your birthday month and she deserves special treatment.
Oh, so the entire month she's just reminding you that it's her birthday month?
Yes.
That's cute.
That's certainly one word for it.
Yeah. Let's see, on my actual, on Sunday, I had a nice little picnic get together with some friends in Central Park. I'm not one to get super rowdy, so I like to keep things really, really chill. So we just sort of like threw a few blankets down and we just ate some food and played Cards Against Humanity, threw the frisbee around and then called it quits. On Wednesday, my roommate, my sister, and we always go to the same Chinese restaurant, and we get the same thing every time, and it's part of the ritual. My sister brought a fruit tart, which the restaurant at the end was sort of happy to serve on one of those like fancy cake sort of dishes.
Yeah.
And what was funny was one of the servers comes over and goes, "Hey, I'm sorry to do this, but I have to ask to see if you guys are almost ready because you guys are using a VIP table." And I go, "What do you mean VIP table?" And my sister looks over at the bar and sees Justin Long waiting at the bar. Now this is not the Justin Long, the football player. This is the Justin Long, the actor.
The actor was my thought. I like Justin Long. From one of those and live free die hard, I think is what he's from.
Yeah, Live Free Die Hard. He was also in He's Just Not That Into You as like the somewhat cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
The kid who's playing video games, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that was always a funny role for him because, it had always been up until that point like he was a geeky guy, like the guy who was always not confident around girls, and all of a sudden he's like too cool for school.
Yeah.
I always thought that was an interesting casting choice for him. But that was Wednesday. I got what did I do Thursday? I definitely did something on Thursday. Wow, this is how old I'm getting.
I love how you remember the rest of your week pretty well. Thursday just must have been a lackluster day for you.
I definitely met up. See, now this is really disappointing because and we'll get to this story in a minute. Oh man, I really feel bad because I totally did something on Thursday. Because I remember thinking I was going to do something Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I guess it technically is my birthday week. When you look at that. I'm thinking. I'm scanning. All right, we'll come back to it. But
Scan
on Friday,
harder.
Yeah, right. On Friday, I went up and grabbed dinner with my good friend Jenny.
Okay.
We've been friends since the 7th grade. She's in New York right now. We ended up getting dinner at the Smith.
God damn it!
Favorite.
Oh, always at the Smith. It's the only restaurant that I know.
Yeah, I feel like the Smith is always going to be a 2-to-1 odds on this podcast to be the the
We
restaurant that I went
we
to.
should start taking bets. Like you should go out every week for some food, and we could start taking bets, gain some
Yeah,
viewership
right.
that way. Yeah.
Um, we also saw Trainwrecked,
Oh
Trainwreck,
yeah, which you said was
and that,
awesome, right?
oh my gosh, it's too good. That movie is too good.
Really?
Um, yeah, I saw the previews for it and it seemed very funny. Um, I didn't think it was going to be as funny as it was. The movie was funnier than the previews. It
Yeah.
currently has an 85% rating. Critics' consensus is Trainwreck drags commitment out of all but the most rom-com phobic filmgoers with sharp humor, relatable characters, and hilarious work from Amy Schumer. And she's absolutely hilarious. But the person that steals the movie is LeBron James. LeBron James is so funny in this movie because he plays like Bill Hader's life coach in a sense,
Yeah.
life and love coach, and it's just there's just one scene. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but there's one scene when they're in the gym that LeBron has a line or a few lines that just I cried when I heard it. It was so funny.
Does he
Like it not
play?
only
Does he play himself, or does he play another character? Does he play like
he
a
plays
John?
himself.
Okay.
He plays himself. And it's just it's so good. The way he delivers the line, the way Bill Hader responds to the line, I was crying. There were tears coming out of my eyes. Um, on on Saturday, I grabbed brunch with one of my very good friends, Sabrina. We went to Brooklyn to this place called the Roebling Tea Room. For those of you who don't know what the Roebling Tea Room is, Jerry Seinfeld took Seth Meyers to the Roebling Tea Room in his episode of Comedians in Cars, grabbing coffee, which we
Yeah.
can link in the description.
Great show.
Great show. But we decided after I had to walk around, so we first took an Uber back into Manhattan, and then we sat at this little bar outside, and we just sort of talked. And it was interesting because she's seeing somebody right now, like 3-4 months.
Mhm.
And here is the scenario she threw at me. They're going to this outdoor show soon, and her boyfriend says that his really good friend, his best friend since like 6th or 7th grade, is going to be in town, and he can't wait to have my friend Sabrina, his current girlfriend, meet her. So this is the best friend. That's a girl.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, Sabrina's thought is that any guy who's been friends with a girl for that long, so since 6th or 7th grade, that's got to be. How old are you when you're in 7th grade? 25? No, 15?
25.
25.
No, 7th grade. No, I was 15 in 10th grade. So 3 years before that, I was 12 and 13, I guess.
So 12 and 13. So going on 10 years. 10 plus years, 12 years. 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
She's saying that anytime a guy is friends with a girl for 12 to 13 years, there's no way that they've been platonic the entire time.
Yeah.
That somebody at some point has felt something, and whether or not they've said something to each other is one thing, but it's a matter of who felt what to whom. And so we started playing with a few scenarios, and I wanted to get your feedback on this. If you were meeting... Like, if you were meeting Elena's, like, if we had to go back a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just started dating 3-4 months,
Uh-huh.
and you and Elena are going out on a date somewhere to, like, an outdoor show where you can just sort of lounge around for a few hours.
Yeah.
And Elena is saying she can't wait for you to meet her best friend. Her best friend's this guy that she's known for 12 years. What is your thought to that? Do you think, like, are you worried about that guy?
Not exactly. I mean, so Elena she has a few like friends who are guys that she keeps in contact with. I mean, they're not like best friends. They're not talking every single day, but it doesn't bother me, especially since I trust her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's not.
So you're saying it comes down to trust.
I think so. I imagine that there's going to be a bit of judgment when you actually meet this guy. I trust her. Maybe I could be a bit apprehensive about the guy's motives.
Mm-hmm. But doesn't matter about the guy's motive if you trust her.
Yeah, I think it does because, um, I think there's always a chance. Yeah, like I trust her, right? But I think there's
Mm-hmm.
always a chance that somebody can try to take advantage under certain situations. Like you know that Lena doesn't drink very much, but you know some people get drunk and they end up doing stuff that they regret. And I don't think that's a good enough excuse to forgive somebody. But I think that in such a situation, you can be vulnerable enough
Right.
to do something that you don't want to do.
Right. Um, what was interesting, another thing that got brought up was if you are best friends with someone of the opposite sex,
Yeah.
do you say something to the friend to be like, listen, I know we're best friends, but I like you. I think we should explore that.
Mm.
And Sabrina's view was screw the friendship because what you could be having is so much richer. You shouldn't shortchange yourself of that possibility. And I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Is that something that guys out there should be saying, you know what, let's go for it?
I feel like there's certain people there, you know those people back in the day, maybe even now too. They claim that they've been friend zoned by certain girls, and they feel like they deserve this girl. Um, the thing is, I feel like there are plenty of guys that feel this way. That maybe they're overly nice to certain girls because they want a chance with them. I'm not. I'm gonna say I'm not. I'll be the last person or the first person. Sorry, the first person to tell you that I've done that before. You know, you're nicer to certain girls or you're nicer to certain people because you think that there could be something more.
Yeah. Do you want
And
to talk about that person or no?
no need. There's no reason at all to talk about that person, Sandy. What's wrong with you?
I ain't trying to get you in trouble.
You were trying to get me in
Maybe
trouble.
I am.
That's not
A little
exactly what
bit.
it sounds
A little
like.
bit. I was
So,
testing you. You were a righteous man, though. You were a righteous man.
um, so like, so yeah, I think it's risky. I think it depends on your situation. You know, if you think that there could be something with that girl, like if she's putting out signs and you think there's a possibility, then I think it's worth it. But I think you really have to test that situation because as soon as you say something, even if she chooses friendship, it's very hard for her. I think it would be very hard for her to actually go back to being friends with you. Like
Yeah.
to ignore what you said and pretend like it didn't happen, I think is near impossible. And you're going to sit there and second guess, or she'll second guess everything that you do that's nice because she might think, or she could be thinking that you're only doing it because you're just looking for a chance to get with her.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think that I have done it before.
Yeah.
I have sort of put myself out there to some really close friends of mine
Mm-hmm.
and said, "Hey, we've been friends, but I like you. I can't. I don't think I've ever said like I feel like there's something there, but I
Yeah.
think I've always sort of said what I have felt, which is I feel like there's something here, and I want to make my intentions well known. And
Yeah.
there have been times when it's worked, and it's great, even though it might not have worked in the end.
Yeah.
But there's been times where it has been shot down cold, and it's tough. It's tough because you at that point have changed the game permanently.
Absolutely.
You can never go back.
Absolutely.
You can never go back, and sometimes sometimes the fear of that rejection, I think, stymies people to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think people are much more willing to sort of have those people in their lives more actively by not saying anything and just holding those feelings in. And then, hopefully, as each day goes by, those feelings get less and less intense.
Yeah.
But I do know that there's an equal chance for people to sort of hold on to those feelings and then misread every situation through their
Right.
sort of not perverted lens, but their own
Hopeful. You know.
hopeful lens,
Yeah.
misreading every little thing.
For sure. I completely hear you on that one. I actually was
Yeah.
thinking, so somebody asked this question to Bill Burr recently on his podcast. I don't remember how many weeks ago, and if it was the Thursday afternoon or Monday morning, but I guess it had to have been Monday morning. He doesn't take that many detailed questions on the Thursday afternoon and Monday morning podcast. But somebody asked him or said to him that he was, he had feelings for a girl who was a friend of his, and, he didn't know what he should do, right? Almost exact same situation. And Bill Burr had said, he suggested that what you need to do if you actually want to have something with her is you need to kind of cut ties with her for an extended period of time, because if she sees you strictly as a friend and you come out and you tell her straight up right then she's going to question your motives throughout your entire friendship. Like I know that this happened to Elena. I had talked to her about this before, about like some of her guy friends from back in the day. And she said that it was really hard for her to try to be friends with them because she really questioned whether, everything that they had done for her in the past was genuine.
Right.
So Bill Burr had said that he suggested that you put some distance between the two of you. And then when you hang out again the next time, maybe you can kind of, you're not going to start brand new. I mean, you still know each other very well, right? But there is maybe a chance that something could work out. It's not a fresh start, but it's enough fresh. There's been enough distance between the two of you that there could be, like, maybe she can start thinking about a potential future between the two of you. I feel like that's kind of trying to play the game. And maybe what you'd be able to do in that extended period of time too would be really to question whether you sincerely want a relationship with that person.
Right.
Because if you take that time away, like, you could just be, I know I think it happens to some guys when you spend a lot of time with some girls, the attention that you get from them can sometimes, like, you can almost convince yourself that you really want a relationship with this person. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, but it could just be that you need a little bit of time and just exploration with other people to
right. You
break
just
that.
might be misreading the situation.
Yeah.
Again, through that lens.
Yeah, and you're really attracted to the attention that you get, how kind she is to you, how friendly and funny she might be, and it's dangerous because you really do want to be able to be friends with people of the opposite sex, the other gender, and if every single time, if you start to gain feelings for every girl that's nice to you like that, then that could be dangerous. And I'm not saying that's the case here, right? But it's possible.
No, I totally hear you. Our conclusion that we came to was just to see each other. Not see each other. I'm talking about my friend Sabrina.
Yeah.
We're saying that they should just go to the event and see how he is around her, and to not have too many foregone conclusions, but to read the situation and then decide if decide at that point to gather a little bit more information. We felt like we were in the information gathering phase.
Yeah.
But yes, that was Saturday. But I felt like that was a really interesting conversation that we had. I was doing some Tinder last night.
Of course.
I think you'll appreciate.
It's been a while since you've been Tindering, right? Like, I don't think you've been using Tinder for a minute, right? Or you just kind of going, I mean, we haven't really been playing the Xbox too much lately, but I remember back in the day, you were swiping left and you were swiping right, and Justin was getting angry with you because he was like, why are you playing Tinder while we're playing Madden? You're kicking my ass and you're Tindering at the same exact time.
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't need to do anything. So I met this girl. I connected with this girl. Her name is Sammy.
Yeah.
She's African American.
Yeah, Sandy, look at you. This is me giving you a nudge. I'm giving you a nudge on the shoulder if we were right next to each other.
You know me. I don't. You know me. You know I'm about that life. She's 25 years old. She's only 2 miles away. I think she lives in Chinatown. We talked about it. We'll get there in a minute.
All right.
And this is her bio. I have succumbed to using Tinder. I am a banker. I am an athlete. I have a master's degree in statistics. I live to eat.
Nice.
So we connected, and this conversation has been going on today since 10:08 a.m. And my last message I sent was 9:19 p.m. So almost 12 hours. I'm going to read it to you.
All right.
I'm gonna read you the whole conversation.
This is about to be a minute. It's about to take like half an hour.
All right. I started the conversation with, which bank is lucky to have you? Because she said she was a banker, right?
Yeah.
She goes, a small boutique. Focuses on middle market M&A, divestitures, raising cap. Are you a banker as well? And I go, only on game night when we play Monopoly. You see, I'm throwing the funny in immediately.
Look at you. Look at you.
Look at me. I go, after that, I say, I'm a UX designer focused on the mobile space. She goes, doing the whole app thing? Please don't make the next Flappy Bird, haha. I go, haha, can you believe that at the height of his popularity, the creator was pulling in $50K a day? She goes,
At least
yes.
estimated, right?
Nah, who cares? Just go with
All right,
it.
fine. All right, fine.
She goes, yes, with 3 S's. Absolutely ridiculous, but it was super addicting. What are you up to today? And I go, I was going to do some laundry and then see how long I can survive shopping outside before I die of heat exhaustion. Because, mind you, today was 91 degrees with like 80% humidity.
It was 91 here today, too.
What?
Not that much humidity, but it was 90 degrees today. Yeah, I was surprised, too. It didn't feel like 90 degrees, but that's what my weather thing is telling me right now, 90 degrees.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, it definitely felt like 90 degrees in the sun, but
it did not for me.
And I go, how about yourself? She goes, not unlike what I'm doing. Got some laundry to do as well. I need to hit up Bed Bath & Beyond. It's 0.6 miles away. Frowny face, might not make it.
0.6?
0.6. And I go, anything that's not right outside of your door is going to feel like a journey of 1,000 miles. But let's be honest, it's a seamless and Netflix binge session kind of a day, and we may need to accept that. She goes, I think so. It might be time to realize that, probably because it's almost noon, I have yet to remove myself from my bed. I go, yeah, I'm still in bed as well. I was not in bed, with the AC on. All these things were such grand plans. If only brunch could be served to me right now in bed. Mind you, Reza, I've already done my laundry, washed all my sheets, and went to the gym. But you know what? She doesn't need to know that. I feel like that was an unnecessary detail, and if she's in bed, then I'm in bed. Level the playing field. Lower the stakes, Reza.
All right. Do you, boo-boo?
Yeah, right. 11:49 a.m. This is where we are. I'm giving you a sense of where we are in the day. She goes, I live on the 5th floor of a walk-up. I don't think I could get delivery man to come up. I go, I lived on the 4th floor of a walk-up once. After a year, I had to vow, like Pearl Harbor, never again. But bright side, every day was leg day. And she said, after my biking yesterday, the 5 floors were essentially Mount Everest. Haha, do you live in Manhattan or BK? Now, this is a big thing in New York. On Tinder, depending on where you say you live, that could be the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because the amount of trains that it requires for you to transfer to get to somebody, the rule is 2 transfers max. Like, I'll take the 4 or 5 or the green line up, and then I can take like an L or something else, and that's fine. But like 3 transfers is way too much. I'm not trying to go over the river and through the woods, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I said, I live in Manhattan. How about yourself? She goes, likewise. Chinatown. She says she lives in Chinatown. 5 dumplings for $1 would be so amazing. I mentioned food probably more than I like to admit. I give her, oh man, if you want good Chinese food, you've met the right person. So that was sort of a race car thing that I played. I go, you can never mention food too often, sort of validating her feelings. And I go, that Manhattan-Brooklyn test was fun. We rode the 3rd rail there for a second, didn't we? She goes, quite frankly, as soon as someone says they live in BK, I always sigh deeply and think about what might have been. But back to food. What's a good Chinese spot around me? And I give her like 3 places that I don't really feel like I need to give you.
Okay.
Sort of fast forwarding. She goes, heard of this place, love spicy. I go, you need to put that place in the been there, love it category as opposed to heard of it category. She goes, working on it. My goodness, my texting skills are poor. And I go, we can't all be perfect, I get it. And then looking at her photos, I didn't know how tall she was because she seemed really tall. Because race card, black girls can be really tall. On average, taller than Asian girls. Do you agree?
Sure.
Thank you. So I go, I gotta ask a personal... What?
No, go ahead.
What are you saying?
I wasn't gonna say anything. Keep going.
I said, I gotta ask you a personal question. How tall are you? She goes 5'6". I go, third rail moment, success. Now you get one in return. She goes, haha, why? How tall are you? Height is never a deal breaker. If a guy is confident enough for me to wear heels and not be a few inches taller, I can dig it. If not, that sucks. And I said, I love the confidence. I'm 5'7" and didn't know if height was going to be a deal breaker for you like Brooklyn was, so I figure I'd see.
Yeah.
She goes, quite frankly, I've been on so many horrific Tinder dates that I might as well just keep it going to see if it gets any better. And I said, worst Tinder story? Go. She says, the guy sweat through his button-down shirt 2 courses into a 5-course tasting menu. Said he had a bug bite on his eye and had left to try and fix it 3 times prior. She said, you need to leave. He paid the bill and left. Told me it was rosacea, Rosacea, on his eye. Never spoke to him again. Boom, I had the rest of the meals doggy bagged. Worst part, he said, wait, can I stay and try and finish the wine? I said no. Go. I was like, damn, a bug bite on your eyeball? You gotta call it delay a game. You gotta bounce. I go, that's definitely in the Hall of Fame. I can't believe that's a real date.
Yeah, right.
Also, I'm somewhat thankful he didn't die at the table. That's something that would require years of therapy.
He must have been he must have been like freaking out. That's why he was sweating so hard.
Yeah.
He's this damn bug bite, man.
And I said, I just got back from Soho, and it was a mistake because I had to go to Soho today to get my sunglasses finally fixed.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't sitting right on my face. They were like the sides or the arms or whatever you call them were like bent too far out. So I took them to Warby Parker, and for free they like fixed it all up. So it was great. They fit perfectly. So when I go to Seattle to see you and like go out west in a week,
yeah,
to SF and then Phoenix, I have sunglasses that fit my face.
Awesome.
She goes, how gross do you feel from 1 to 10? I'm so sweaty. Oh my God. I go, are you out right now? So brave. I'm a solid 9. Definitely one of those, quote, can men wear dresses kinds of days. She goes, I am right now. I needed food, ended up with protein shakes. I go, if that's not control, I don't know what is. She responds, I guess. The hard part is not drinking them all day. All today. After my shower, I have never felt so clean. I respond, oh, no doubt. I felt the same. Had to get clean for dinner and True Detective. She goes, you're not the first person who has told me they watched that show today. Is it that good? And I said, yeah, the seasons are pretty meh, but, what have you been watching lately? She says, I don't have a TV and my computer's garbage. I spend most of my time outside the apartment.
Ooh.
I was like, ooh. I go, gotcha. So lay it on me. Perfect Sammy summer night. How does it play out? She goes, I walk up my 5 floors. I take off my clothes and hop in bed. # sleep is bae. And then she also goes, I'm pretty low key. I'd rather do brunch and something active, and then dinner with friends. May even go to a bar, but I don't know. Sometimes a show, sometimes a museum trip. And I said, let's stick with that # sleep is bae tag for a minute. But then I also said, but wait, brunch, any place you recommend? And we just stopped talking. That was about an hour ago. But I think it's been fun to have this banter all day.
Yeah, that's good. No, it sounds very casual. And fun, just fun is always the word I think that you're going to look for, right?
Yeah, and like I haven't asked for a number yet because I don't really care too much, but it's I feel like at a certain point I need to start like asking for a number, right?
Yeah. Well, do you have a lot of conversations or no?
Not too many. Most of the time, they're fake people.
Okay.
Yeah. But I felt like, you know what? I figured you'd appreciate it. And that's sort of been my week / weekend up to here. How was your weekend?
My weekend was really nice. So, as I said earlier, my week overall was kind of meh. I didn't do well. I walked and ran home from work directly 3 times, and so Wednesday I took the bus home, but Friday I also took the bus home, but I also walked like a good 2 miles or so after work because I picked up some sunglasses and I picked up some shoes. Now I was gonna go hiking with my cousin today, Sunday. So I was trying to buy some hiking shoes, but I figured maybe I'll look for like trail running shoes because I wanted shoes that I would be able to double as, running shoes when I come home because I don't go on too many hikes and too many trails. So
Hmm.
I went out and I ended up going to this small like shoe store called Flatfoot, and they specialize in running shoes and trail running shoes and whatnot. And when I told the guy what I needed, he really suggested that I probably just get running shoes, use them for the hikes, and then, when I go home, just continue using them for running, which in the end makes sense. So I picked up a new pair of running shoes because my old ones are more or less falling apart.
Okay.
Um, and then yesterday morning, my uncle picked me up, and we went over to the locks where what's the lake? I don't even remember the lake. I don't know if it's Lake Washington that meets with Puget Sound, which connects to the ocean.
Oh,
And
that's really
so
really cool.
it was really awesome to see it. They have two different lanes. They have one lane for the larger boats, and they have one lane for smaller boats. So we actually saw some kayakers going through on the smaller side, and then on the big side we saw a couple yachts going through and some bigger boats. I was just sitting there thinking, like, I wonder who the owner of that yacht is. Like the people that were like fastening the boat to the sides and whatnot.
Yeah.
They were definitely not the owners of the boats. They were definitely employees. But it's crazy how quickly it works, like how fast it happens. I don't remember how high the water like what the difference is in terms of elevation. I think it's like 20 some feet, the difference between the lake and the ocean. But just seeing how quickly it works, especially on the small side. On the small side, it's very, very fast. So we saw that. Like very interesting stuff, very entertaining. I was surprised by how many people were there. You can also like go underneath, and they built these stairs for the salmon to get up this the lock, because once they built the lock, it made it much more difficult for the salmon to get through. So they built these stairs, and it helps the salmon get to the top so they can lay their eggs. And then after that, I went back to their house. I hung out with my cousin most of the day. She was like cleaning her room, so her room was a mess. She was trying to clean up. I don't know how many months or whatever of accumulated mess that she was cleaning up. She did a really good job, and we were just like chatting and whatnot. It was a good time. And then today I went hiking with my other cousin. So last night the other one she went out. So I was trying to convince her to come hiking with us, but when she got in this morning. She like passed out. I didn't even see her. She came home, went up to her room, and she like fell asleep. So, so initially the plan was that my cousin and I would wake up early-ish to go hiking. And then we decided later, you know what? It's gonna be hot all day. Let's just go. Let's sleep in. We'll go after whenever we wake up. And she ran to her neighbor who was outside, and when she told her neighbor that she was going to go hiking, she asked if she wanted to come, and she said, yeah, but she can't. She's busy until noon. So we were initially going to go like at 7, which got pushed back to 9, which all of a sudden got pushed to 12. So at noon, or like after that, we ate breakfast. I just worked for a little bit, and then we headed out, and her neighbor invited another guy that she works with. So there were 4 of us. They drove in a different car. So we drove up, and I asked, what's the place that we're going to? I put it in my GPS, and I was like, this is the place? She's like, yeah. So we're driving up, and I like see a place. What the heck's the name of the freaking place right now? Well, I'll tell you in a second once I look it up. But I see the name of the place, and it's and I was like, well, the GPS still says go, so we just kept going, right? And we end up at like this ski resort, which they'd been to before. And so we ended up getting, some food there because we hadn't eaten since, breakfast. It's like 2:00 at this point. The place is called Snoqualmie Falls.
Oh.
And where we ended up going was Snoqualmie Pass, which is much further up in the mountains where like this, the ski lifts are and whatnot. Obviously no snow now, but even so, it's good to see. Food is pretty good. So we had to go back like 20 miles or so, and then we ended up getting to the falls. So there's like a waterfall there, and like a trail. It's not too extreme of a trail. I think the total elevation, the total gain is like 300 feet from the bottom. And we parked up top. We worked our way down, and then when we got to the bottom, there's like there's the river, and you can like walk around and try to get to near the waterfall. But you have to go through the water, and we weren't prepared for that. So we ended up going back up, and they have like a much closer, like an elevator, like viewing section. So we ended up checking it out there, and we saw some guy trying to get back up from where he was because he didn't want to walk all the way around. And we were like, you know what? Let's do that. So like all the signs are like, no climbing, go like stay on the boardwalk. But all these other people are doing it, and I was like, you know what? For once in my life, I'm gonna do the stupid thing that everybody else is doing. So we went over and we're like walking along all the rocks, which was tough work. A whole lot of like unstable rocks and stuff, but it was a lot of fun. So we worked our way down and just like chilled out in front of the waterfall for like 10 minutes. So that's where I sent you a couple of those pictures, or I guess I sent you one. It took like 30. And then from that point, we ended up working our way back. We had to like climb back up over the rails, and then walked back up the mountain. So overall, I think we were probably there for a good 2 hours or so. And, like, it was definitely tiring, but not too tiring. But I had a lot of fun doing it. And it kind of just psyched me up more for our...
The photo you sent me was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was certainly certainly no Iguazu Falls like from Brazil, but it was still really cool to see. And, I wonder if we can try to go back there sometime. Like, I sent the picture to Will too. So I had like a group chat with Will and a few other guys, and because Will's coming. For those who don't know, Will's my old roommate, and he's coming to visit me in Seattle the week before Sandy comes here. And so he was like, "You got to set something up like that," because he's trying to do something like that too. So I don't know if we'll go to the same place. We'll go somewhere different. Wait, did you say
before or after me?
He comes the week before you, but he's coming from. I think he's coming from Thursday and staying till Monday. But he also knows somebody else in the city too. So, but I don't know if we'll try to go there. My cousin was saying how it'd be nice, like, because there were people that were swimming in the river, so it would have been really nice to like actually go in the water and go a little bit closer to the waterfall and just check it out. But it was still really cool. It certainly was not going to be. It was not as difficult as Blanco Lake will be, but it got me more amped for Blanco Lake. My cousin said that she went on it before, and she said it was definitely tiring for them. I think. But I don't know how fast they went. I'm looking at Yelp, and somebody says they started at 11:45. They got to the lake at 1:45, so that's only 2 hours. It's I think 3.25 miles to get to the top. And my cousin said I think it took them like 3 hours or like 4 hours to get to the top. So I don't know what their pace was, how slow they were, but it should be interesting. The total gain that we're going to be doing on the Blanco Lake will be 3,000 feet. So that'll be good. More. I mean, it's more.
You know where you and I are going. So.
Definitely higher. Definitely, it's higher than we went for when we were in Brazil.
Yeah, ours. Those switchbacks are going to be intense, but
yeah.
We should. I'm also thinking we should probably get a decent car too, like potentially an SUV or some kind.
I'll check out to see what the roads are like because I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think anything with 4 wheels should be good enough.
Maybe. I don't even know if we'll need one. I'm really not sure if we'll be going on any like dirt paths when we're driving up, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. I think that'll be a lot of fun though.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. Some people have said in the reviews that they got there like at 8 a.m. They ended up coming down and leaving at like 3 p.m. When they got there, there were like 5 cars in the parking lot, and when they were leaving, the parking lot was absolutely full. There were people parked along the sides of the road and whatnot. So wow. I know our plan is to go there early.
Yeah,
but
like
it's gonna be a super long journey. So we're definitely gonna need to bring some food, some lunch and some snacks.
Yeah, I mean, we'll bring a backpack and we'll bring all that stuff. We'll bring like enough water and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I are good about that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, so it should be fun. Should be good.
Yeah, especially when we climbed in Brazil, we sort of had the same like pace. Like we should take a break now. We shouldn't. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't even know if it's. I don't know if it's going to be as steep as Brazil. Brazil was pretty steep at certain points. I'm not sure if it'll be like that here.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I don't know.
I do know that this one is. I think the switchbacks will make this better because we're just walking like long paths and cutting back.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm definitely bringing my legitimate hiking boots on this trip.
Okay, you'll be better suited than I. I ended up passing on the hiking boots so I could
Okay.
have some running shoes, which I did need.
Yeah. I think I'll bring both. I think this is the kind
Okay.
of weekend where I'll probably just be wearing sneakers normally.
Yeah.
We should also probably bring a coat of some kind.
See, that's another
'Cause I
thing I
think
was thinking. What if it rains? If it rains, apparently it's not a fun time.
oh, no doubt, dude. If it rains, we shouldn't do it.
If it rains, I wanna look up a backup. We need a backup if it's raining there because we can definitely. I think we could avoid it. I mean, like I said, I've only seen rain like twice while I've been here, and it's hardly rain. It's just been drizzling. So I think if it rains there, we can at least avoid it and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think hopefully it doesn't rain, obviously,
yeah,
but we'll see. I'm really excited for that because was it Lake Bianca or Lake Blanca?
Blanca, yeah,
Bianca.
Blanca,
Jesus Christ.
Blanca Lake.
Blanca Lake. That's the pictures that we've seen of that place have been absolutely gorgeous. So
Yeah. Gonna bring some swimming trunks so we can take a swim at the top because I think that'll be really needed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's it for me this week. A shorter one this week.
Yeah, we're doing this late. I still got to eat dinner because I was out all weekend. So
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I think we covered some fun topics this week.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing before we head out. You listening, reading, or watching or playing anything
yes.
this week?
I finished Orange is the New Black. That's what I was watching. I got really into that this past week.
Was it a good season?
You know, here's my problem with some TV shows in general. I think I've talked about this with you in the past. I don't like shows that overstay their welcome. I like shows to end. And I'm afraid that Orange is the New Black is trying to introduce too many characters, bring in more storylines, and stay around for too long. And like the first season was great, but the show has become so far removed from that first season. It's kind of weird to me. In addition, we're getting a whole lot of backstories from a whole lot of different people now. Whereas in the first season, we got a lot of backstory from the same characters at time, like especially like Piper. You would get backstory for Piper for like 4 or 5 episodes. And then you got like, Red's background, and then you got a couple other people's background like Daya. And in this season, we're just getting more and more and more background for different characters that you never thought you would get the background for, like the meth girls. Like you never heard anything about them because they're kind of minor characters. They were just in the prison. And I will tell you this: the one thing I do like is that not everyone is a good person. And that's what I was I think I talked about it last week when I said my problem with the show is that everyone that's being sent to this prison, they're all good people that just happen to make one mistake, or they were like pushed to kill, but for a good reason, stuff like that. But in this season, it's not necessarily the case, and I appreciate that.
Well, that's always good because it was too convenient that everyone was a good person on some way, or like everyone was justified.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm watching Suits. Suits, the season started up again, so I've been binge watching that.
Yeah.
Finally caught up. Watched tonight's True Detective episode. Phenomenal. Episode 5 is definitely getting this season back on track. I think after the last episode where everything with all that stuff that happened, it's we're finally back on track for sure.
Okay.
And I'm also watching Ballers.
Yeah.
And The Brink. But other than that, not too much.
Okay.
And music wise, oh, thank you. So Reza was kind enough to send me a little birthday present, and I used he sent me an Amazon gift card, and I used that gift card to buy 3 vinyl albums. The first one came in, Gregory Alan Isakov, a folk singer, his album The Weatherman. The album sounds phenomenal on vinyl, like I always thought it would.
Yeah,
So I thank you for that. I appreciate it.
for sure.
So yeah, that's what I'm listening to.
Okay.
Cool. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot for
All right.
listening. I'm Reza.
I'm Sandy. We will see you next week.